higher.
Under Calgary's sun, where the Rockies rise, KCCO vibes, it's no surprise. We're living large, oh Canada, partying hard all night and day. Turn up the beat, feel that bassline drop. With Child Nation, we'll never stop. Raise your glass, let's make a toast to the West Coast, who does it most. KCCO Calgary, where we come alive. Chive on Canada, let's feel the vibe. In the heart of Alberta, where the fun don't cease. Raving through the night, finding inner peace. From the prairies to the peaks, we gather here with friends so dear and spirits clear. Chavo Canada, we all unite for freedom, kindness, and endless light. Turn up the beat, feel that bassline drop. With Child Nation, we'll never stop. Raise your glass, let's make a toast to the West Coast, who does it most. KCCO Calgary, where we come alive. Chive on Canada, let's feel the vibe. In Under the northern lights, we lose control. Our hearts beat as one, a collective soul. KCCO, Calgary, where dreams take flight. Together we conquer the longest night. KCCO, Calgary, where we come alive. Jive on Canada, let's feel the vibe. In the heart of Alberta, where the fun don't cease. Raving through the night, finding inner peace. So let's keep dancing till the morning light. With KCCO spirit, we'll be alright. Oh Canada, and we stand so tall in this true nation, we'll never fall. Under Calgary sky, where the Rockies shine, KCCO vibes we unwind. With Chivo Canada, a unity call. Dancing through the night, we give our all. Feel the beat drop, let your spirits fly. Together we rise, reaching for the sky. Raise a glass high for the Jive Nation, spreading love and joy across our great nation. KCCO Calgary, we come alive. Jive on Canada, we thrive. In Alberta's heart, where the fun won't cease. Raving through the night, finding inner peace. From the prairies to the peaks, we gather near. With friends so dear and spirits clear. Chivo Canada, and we unite as one. Celebrating life till the night is done. Feel the beat drop, let your spirits fly. Together we rise, reaching for the sky. Raise a glass high for the Jive Nation, spreading love and joy across our great nation. KCCO Calgary, we come alive. Jive on Canada, we thrive. In Alberta's heart, where the fun won't cease. Raving through the night, finding inner peace. Under northern lights, our souls ignite. With KCCO, everything's right. Chivo Canada, and we stand tall. With unity and love we conquer all. KCCO Calgary, we come alive. Jive on Canada, we thrive. In Alberta's heart, where the fun won't cease. Raving through the night, finding inner peace. So let's keep dancing till morning light. With KCCO spirit, we'll be alright. Jive on Canada, and we stand so tall. In this Jive Nation, we'll never fall. Oh. Let's keep dancing till morning light. With KCCO spirit, we'll be alright. Chivo Canada, and we stand so tall. In this Jive Nation, we'll never fall. Under Calgary sky, where the Rockies shine, KCCO vibes we unwind. With Chivo Canada, a unity call. Dancing through the night, we give our all. Feel the beat drop, let your spirits fly. Together we rise, reaching for the sky. Raise a glass KCCO Calgary, we come alive. Chivon, Canada, we thrive. In Alberta's heart where the fun won't cease.
Top of the morning to y'all. Happy Hub Day. Hopefully you're having a wonderful week and a wonderful Wednesday. And yeah, had to get this in because next Tuesday is St. Paddy's Day. So it'll be hangover on the 18th when I am streaming again. So it's exactly 1 week away. Or as I found out that it is St. Pat practice week. So we can all have our beverages and have a ton of fun this weekend. So just to let you know who I am Kevin, one of your KCCO Calgary admins. And what I like to do here is talk about what's going on in Chive Nation and what's going on with KCCO Calgary. And of course, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so we had to do a St. Paddy's Day theme. And seeing as we are done dry February, I am partaking in some green beer here. So, just a bit of light in behind to prove that it actually is green. So, cheers to everyone. Hopefully you are having a wonderful hump day. Cheers. And shout out to Hockey Night. Thanks for popping in, bud. Nice to see you online. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to pop over and catch you online as well. But like we usually like to do here to start the stream off is read a story from our chivecharities.org website. So why don't we head on over and take a look at that. So today's story, we're actually going to be looking at Mark. It isn't classic rock. It's a wake-up call. So we're going to start this, and I'm going to take my glasses off, even though they're not real. So, Mark O. This isn't classic rock. It's a wake-up call. Every generation has the argument. You're in the truck, radio on the classic rock station, and a song from the 90s comes through your speakers. You say, that's not classic rock. Then you do the math and realize that the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Californication is now decades old. Yeah, that makes you feel old. But classic rock isn't just about age, it's about grit. For Mark, who spent 32 years driving commercial trucks and 18 more chasing wildfires across the West, those were the soundtrack to a life of service. Now, as he faces pancreatic cancer at nearly 68 years old, there's a different kind of debate unfolding. After retiring as a commercial truck driver, the local forester and an old friend asked Mark, "How would you like to come fight fires with us, driving our truck and pulling the dozer behind us?" He was in. Every year around the 1st of June, when Minnesota finally greened up, Mark would put his name on the deployment list as a heavy machine operator, a smoke chaser. From Texas to Montana, throughout the western United States and even parts of Canada, he would deploy for 14 to 21 days at a time. Often for 10 to 12 weeks each season. In 2011, he spent 94 days in Texas. He worked 22 straight days on a single fire. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. When the tour ended and there was a mandatory 48-hour rest period, Mark said, "I came home to clean clothes and kiss my wife. On day 3, he usually got another call and headed back out. Wow. The hidden risk. Structural firefighters often use self-contained breathing apparatus, or SCBA, or SCUBA. Wildland fighters don't. Wildland fighters use a bandana, says Mark. That's not a metaphor, it's a reality. For about 12 years, Mark's primary care physician proactively ordered annual chest x-rays because of his exposure history. That routine imaging was a smart move, but not enough to catch what came next. November, the diagnosis. In October 2025, Mark officially retired for good. After tearing his Achilles tendon and losing the ability to pass the physical test, his fire days were behind him. His wife of nearly 50 years, my rock, was relieved. Then in November, his stomach issues started. Reflux, discomfort. His wife rushed him to the hospital. A tumor about the size of an acorn was on his pancreas, pinching off part of his small intestine. His stomach couldn't empty properly. Pancreatic cancer. He's now going under chemotherapy, 6 hours in the infusion chair, then home with a portable pump in a small fanny pack. Treatments every 2 weeks, then a week of sickness follows. He's hoping for 6 rounds. It may be 11. The statistics are sobering. For pancreatic cancer, the 5-year survival rate remains low. He was told that 3 years from now, there's only about a 30% chance he'll still be here. And yet he fights, not just for himself, but for his brothers and sisters in the fire service. And like any long tour on the fire line, he knows the value of a backup. Legislation is catching up. In December 2025, the Honoring Our Fallen Heroes Act was signed into law. It recognizes over 20 types of cancers and ensures that responders who fight and sometimes die from cancer contracted on the job receive the same recognition and support as those with immediate physical injuries. The CDC announced the National Firefighter Registry for Cancer in an effort to understand and reduce risk of cancer among U.S. firefighters. All U.S. firefighters with or without cancer, no matter their length of service, can join the NFR. Tallest sugar pine, 265 feet, 7.5 feet wide. Wow. These are critical steps forward, but legislation alone doesn't prevent cancer. Screenings do. Nearly 70% of annual cancer cases and deaths in the U.S. come from cancers that have no recommended screening, leaving many undetected until later stages, said Dr. Tom Beer, Chief Medical Officer in Multi-Cancer Early Detection at Exact Sciences. For first responders facing elevated cancer risk, that screening gap matters. That's where additional screening tools like Multi-Cancer Early Detection, MCED tests, may play a critical role. MCED tests, like the Cancer Guard test, are designed to complement routine recommended screenings by screening for multiple cancers at once through a simple blood draw. The Cancer Guard test can help detect more than 50 cancer types and subtypes. As another tool in the cancer screening toolbox, the MCED testing gives first responders and their healthcare team an even greater opportunity to detect cancer earlier and take action. It's easier than you think. Routine imagery has given Mark more time. A comprehensive screening may save others entirely. Young or old, regardless of what you consider classic rock, from Van Halen to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, we all have a duty to be there for the ones who love us. The bravest thing you can do for your spouse, your kids, your friends, your future is to catch cancer early. Schedule the screening. And there's a link here about screening for cancer. The breakdown. Why are firefighters at higher risk for cancer? Firefighters, particularly wildland firefighters, are exposed to smoke, toxic chemicals, and airborne carcinogens while fighting fires. Many wildland firefighters work without advanced respiratory protection, which increases long-term cancer risks. Why is early cancer detection important? Early cancer detection increases treatment options and survival rates. Many cancers are easier to treat when found early through the screening tests or emerging multi-cancer detection tools. What cancer screening should firefighters consider? Firefighters should follow recommended cancer screenings for their age and risk level, and consult healthcare providers about additional early detection options, especially if they have long-term exposure to smoke or toxins. So yeah, make sure you go and get yourself checked out if you are in one of those types of scenarios. If you are a firefighter and you are a wildland specifically, go get yourself checked out. So, having read that, now let's just jump into our happy St. Paddy's Day, or our St. Pat. What? How did I have it? St. Paddy's Day prep. That's the way it is. So, but first, just want to give a shout out to Mr. Hockey Night. Thanks for popping by. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule here. All right. So I had sort of some notes written down here because I'm not a St. Paddy's Day aficionado, but was able to pull out some facts about St. Paddy's Day here. So yeah, it's March 11th, which means we're officially in the St. Practice window. If you aren't already wearing a hint of green, consider this your intervention. We're here to make sure your St. Patrick's Day weekend doesn't end in a hangover of regret because you missed the best parties. All right. And yeah, I actually found there's quite a few events going on this weekend. So on Sunday, March the 15th, let's bring that back over. And that. We actually have the 39th annual St. Patrick's Day Road Race on Sunday, March the 15th. This isn't a jog, folks. It's a Calgary institution at Central Memorial High School. It supports Diabetes Canada, so it's a run for a cause kind of situation. But you know what the real kicker is? The Village Brewery Prize. And then we just scroll down to the prize, and then we'll see some pictures here. So Village beer will be available for sale, $5 per can. Must be 18 years old to purchase and consume alcohol. Win your weight in Village beer draw. And they'll have 2 draws for Win Your Weight in Village Beer. Women to be drawn after the 5K awards, men to be drawn after the 10K. So this is amazing. You guess what your weight is in Village Brewery beer, which I thought is a hilarious way of figuring it out, how much you weigh. So they put you on a giant scale and they match the weight in beer. So if you're a 200-pound linebacker, this is your time to shine. So, and if you're not running, show up for the atmosphere. It's the best way to clear the cobwebs before the Tuesday finale, which is St. Paddy's Day. And I thought that was really cool to be able to see that. So yeah, a bunch of sponsors and proceeds going to Diabetes Canada. Also, another thing that's going on, I'm going to go through the list of different events that are going on this weekend. We have the Roughnecks St. Paddy's Party. The Riggers are hosting Ottawa at the Saddle Dome on Saturday. If you haven't been to a Roughnecks game, that's our lacrosse team. The energy is already 11 out of 10. Now you add green jerseys, Irish dancers at halftime, and 18,000 fans who've been practicing all day. It's going to be electric. So take a look and see if there's any of your KCCO Calgary crew out in the stands. And then there's always the pubs to go to. So we'll head on over to the number one pub to go and check out is the Ship and Anchor. That is a tradition here in Calgary. And of course, they have St. Paddy's Day at the Ship. So don't miss the Ship's legendary St. Pat's party. We're starting early and going all day long. Live music from 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. And then DJ Sab Beaufort will take you into the wee hours of the morning, featuring performances by the Shillelagh Peach Panic, Irish Goodbyes, Coastal Creek, Morrissey's Private Stock, Berkeley Shea. So that is one of the big 3. The other one is James Joyce Irish Pub. So if you actually scroll down on their menu, they have amazing food there. I've been there on St. Paddy's Day, and the food there is amazing. So they actually have an event gallery. So their gallery says a 3-day festival. VIP passes, live music, and a full Irish menu. So on Friday, March the 13th, they have Byron and Danny live at 7 p.m. On Saturday, they have Matt Beatty on the Rocks. And then on Tuesday, March the 17th, they have Frayed Not live from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. So yeah, on St. Patrick's Day, live music all day by Frayed Not. And Irish dancers and a full Irish menu. And the food that they make there is so good. So good. So, what else is going on here? So yeah, sort of did a little bit of a deep dive of the history and the myths. And we often think of St. Paddy's as an Americanized holiday, but Canada has some deep roots as well. In the 1840s, during the potato famine, hundreds of thousands of Irish immigrants arrived at Groseille in Quebec. They shaped our construction, our politics, and definitely our bar scene. And the Montreal tradition. Since 1824, Montreal hasn't missed a single parade. Not for wars, not for weather. They are the gold standard. Calgary scene is younger, but we bring that Western hospitality that makes the Irish feel right at home. The man, the myth. St. Patrick wasn't even Irish. He was a Romano-British teenager who was kidnapped by pirates and taken to Ireland as a slave. He escaped, went home, became a priest, and then voluntarily went back to Ireland. Talk about a plot twist. Also, the shamrock. He used it to explain the Holy Trinity. 3 leaves, 1 stem. It wasn't just a cute doodle. As for the validity of these facts, I did fact check a couple of them, but I don't know if these others are just a good story or not. So, what other things did I find out? The Green River myth. People always ask if we're going to dye the Bow River green like they do in Chicago. And yeah, don't ever do that. Our river is already a beautiful glacial turquoise, and the trout wouldn't appreciate the food coloring. So stick to dyeing your beer. So I'll stick to dyeing and having green beer. The secret Guinness pour. If you want the best pour in the city, head to St. James Corner. They take 2-part pour very seriously. It should take exactly 119.5 seconds to pour the perfect pint. If they hand it to you in 30 seconds, send it back politely. All right, so those are kind of a few of the facts that I was able to pull up, and thought it'd just be fun to have a bit of a St. Paddy's Day prep stream to welcome you to the upcoming wild weekend that it's going to be. So if you are out and about, take pictures and put hashtags KCCO Calgary so that I can pull out your picture and see what kind of shenanigans you got into with your friends and family. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. I have a few things that I want to get done in preparation for this upcoming weekend. So one other note here was saying the global greening. Calgary participates in the Global Greening Initiative, where Calgary Tower and Reconciliation Bridge are lit up in vibrant emerald green on the night of the 17th. So I definitely should go for a drive and take some pictures and show the green that is across our city. So with that, I'm going to wrap things up and enjoy the rest of my green beer. So I want to say thank you for those that took the time out tonight. And oh, so true, hockey. So true. Have to get a Shamrock Shake. Definitely have to go and get one of those. So, all right. Have yourself a wonderful week, and we'll see you at next week, which will be a day after St. Paddy's, and we'll see how your St. Patrick's Day went. So, cheers and chive on. Cheers.
We dream of making things just a bit better. Small changes adding up to a greater whole. Let's ignite the spark, let's reach our goal. We'll make the world 10% brighter. With love and kindness, we'll be fighters. Every action counts, every little letter. Together we'll make world a brighter place to stay. Every step with